15 on NFL Primetime. Emmett continues his assault on the record books, but the Eagles look to write a chapter of their own. A healthy Steve Young is back to his old tricks as the Niners try to teach Kerry Collins some new ones. Barry Sanders reaches a milestone in Houston, where Steve McNair looks to get on a road of his own. Can the pass-happy Steelers keep rolling into Oakland, where the Raiders need to get back on the winning track? Morton Anderson enters the record book against his old team, while the Colts try to show the Jags how to kick off a football game. Chris Miller is out. Mark Rippon was the stunt double as the Rams try to catch Thurman and the Bills. So bundle up. ESPN's NFL Primetime is next. Well, Week 15 of the National Football League. Hi, everybody. Welcome to NFL Primetime. Chris Berman along with Tom Jackson and the judge, Bill Pidto. Boy, the plot thickens once again, does it not, here in Week 15. Sunday Night Football on ESPN, one of our favorite games, the so-called Bay of Pigs. The Green Bay Packers, though, if they could win at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, would nail down not yet the NFC North for them, but a playoff berth with what happened elsewhere in the NFL on Sunday. Here we go from the big sombrero, and it was much lower scoring, despite the fact that Reggie White missed his first game in 11 years in the NFL. Brett Favre to Mark Chmura, but no, Melvin Johnson makes the pick, and we remain scoreless in the first. Second quarter, Trent Dilfer looking for Warren Sapp, who was lined up as a tight end eligible. Joe Kelly picks it off 3-0 pack after the first half. But then Trent Dilfer to Horace Copeland, 8 for $122. Gain of 23, set up a Jerry Ellison run. Fourth quarter, down 7-3. Favre, let me tell you about Kent Jackson. It's a touchdown to 10-7 pack. Ustedes kicked a field goal to tie it at 10 with seconds to go. Chris Jackie can win it for the pack, but it's no good. To the left. We go to overtime. And then in overtime, Michael Husted, 47 yards. Does he squeeze it in? It's good. It's good. For the first time in 13 years, the Bucs will not lose double-digit games. Reggie not happy because they get the long flight home to slightly cooler Green Bay, where they still have their opportunity to nail down the division. But it's the Buccaneers that make sure that everyone in the North is at 500 or better after 14 games. The Buccaneers 13, the Packers 10. Big game on Monday night. Mike and the gang will get you set for 90 minutes at 7:30 Eastern Time for the Chiefs. Best record in football at the Dolphins. Someone who needs a tan will be reporting from Joe Robbie Stadium. Don't know who that could be. Next week, Sunday Night Football. Hey, the Seahawks are in it. The Raiders have lost 4 in a row. 8-6 Raiders at 7-7 Seahawks. That's next Sunday at 8 Eastern. When we return on NFL Primetime, oh man, do we have things to show you. Well, the Buffalo Bills, we got them coming. We got the Jets and the Pats and the Bills and the Rams. And we got lots of stuff. Wasn't supposed to be this way for the New England Patriots. Their fans thought they would go to the Super Bowl. Not this year. The Jets, they had a feeling, we need some time to work on things. Both teams need some time to work on things. Who would salvage some December pride? Here we go at Foxborough for the Jets and the P-Men. Once upon a time, an important series. And Bill Parcells, frustrated.
Yeah, Bledsoe with the pitch to Martin. He completes that. Martin gets in the end zone for a 1-yard touchdown. Holding was called, and the first of many mistakes on the day for the Patriots.
So Matt Barr, about the most reliable Patriot this year, he had 3 missed field goals. Tom, most of them short. 7-7 after the first half. In the third quarter with the same score, the rush by Matt Brock of the Jets. Drew Bledsoe, it's a fumble! And a Jets have the ball. Boomer Esiason. Hey, he can still play action with the best of them. To Joni Mitchell. Help me, I think I'm falling. He makes the catch, 14-7 Jets. So the Patriots turn to Curtis, my favorite Martian. And Curtis Martin in the end zone, 9 yards, 14-all after 3. All of a sudden, interesting game. 17-14 Pats. Esiason to Adrian Morrell. Yes, it's a touchdown, 21-17 Jets. But on the ensuing kickoff, when you're the Jets, look at this. Look at that little Megan fumble. He fumbles it, but Troy Brown's going to pick it up. Do you believe it? Does this sum up the Jets season? They force the turnover, and they get bagged anyway. 75-yard touchdown, 24-21, the P-Men. Then Esiason off the hands of Brad Russell Baxter, picked off by Ty Law. They fought the Law, and the Law won. And the Patriots go on to beat the Jets 31-28. The Jets scored in the last seconds of the game. They actually put on a good show in the second half. Martin, well, they almost win every game when he has 100 yards. He had 148 yards on the day. Drew Bledsoe's numbers, horrible. He still doesn't look right, Tom, but the Patriots still have a shot at a 500 season. We've got more coming up on Prime Time. When we return, the Colts, they lost to one expansion team because they beat the other one. They're at Jacksonville. They were flying. Meanwhile, Jim Kelly, tough for what? Big game for the Bills at St. Louis. Could they douse the Rams? Stay with us. Hello, welcome back to NFL Primetime. Well, the Colts haven't been in the playoffs since '87. They figured, gee, we're playing the two expansion teams, Billy. We should roll. Not the case at Carolina last week. They wanted it to be the case this week at Jacksonville.
And also a quarterback change coming in for the Colts. The Colts, Jim Harbaugh, did not start, but the league's top-rated passer did suit up. Harbaugh had his knee scoped on Monday. He's replaced by Craig Erickson, who was supposed to be the Colts' main man this year, but was replaced by Harbaugh in the first place. Benched after starting the first two games, Erickson has thrown only 18 passes since. The Colts at Jacksonville, and away we go. Aaron Bailey from Louisville. Yep, takes the opening kickoff. You know about these guys from Louisville. They can play football. Look at Bailey go. 95 yards, midfield. He's going to get the momentum. He's going to keep going, and the flop, touchdown, 7-0 Colts, Tommy.
Yeah, and we'll look at the subtleties of Bailey's return here. He looks to spot the lane behind the wedge. It's just to his right. And then right here as he gets to the sideline, he's looking at the kicker, gives him a little dip right there, and he's gone for the 6.
First drive now for the Jags. Brunell back from the bad hammy looking for Desmond Howard. He is nailed by David Tate. Ouch. Howard left the game with a concussion, and Howard did not return. Later now in the first quarter, 3rd and goal. It's Erickson. Back to pass to Bailey from Louisville. Touchdown, 14-0 Colts. Second quarter now. The Jags, James Stewart takes the handoff, 6 yards, touchdown. Jags down 14-7. Later on now, Colts, they punt. Cedric Tillman, whoops, he drops it. Gray recovers, Colts football. And on the 3rd and goal, it's Marshall Faulk. He gets the handoff, roll in, and in there. Touchdown, 21-7 Colts. Faulk, the 3rd Colt to have consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. 4th quarter now. It's Brunell. Back to pass to Willie Jackson. 15 yards and a touchdown. Jags down 10, Tommy.
Yeah, Brunell shows you his maturity here, looking to his left, holding the safety out of double zone so he doesn't come over to help, and hits Jackson for the touchdown.
Later in the 4th, Brunell to Jimmy Smith. Smith caught 3 touchdowns last week. This one here, Jags down 34-24. 3rd and 10. Colts trying to burn the clock. Erickson to Sean Dawkins. How did they... Great play there. Keeps it alive. Faulk on the bench with a knee contusion. Lamont Warren, 1 yard and a touchdown. 41 points for the Colts offense. The most points they've scored in 29 games. The final, 41-31. Erickson only 9 of 16 for 129 yards, but it was good enough. 54 yards for Faulk, who becomes the 13th back in NFL history to go over 1,000 yards in each of his first 2 years. Brunell throws for 312 yards, but the Jags lose their 6th straight game. And Chris, the Colts are now 8-6 and very much alive for a playoff spot in the AFC.
Very much alive, and certainly the Buffalo Bills know that. They want to stay ahead of everybody in the AFC East, Billy. Really, the Bills and the St. Louis Rams have had a marvelous season, a lot better than a lot of people thought. Rams got off to that great start, but now they're just trying to finish a nice season. For Buffalo, though, they're the ones who are going places. But an 8-3 start, 2 straight losses, put the Bills at 8-5. They worked so hard to get that lead all year in the AFC East. The last thing they wanted to do was see it whittled away and spoil a marvelous season. So kind of a must-win for them at St. Louis today. And despite reports you heard elsewhere, Hunter Reed did not play again for the Bills, out 2 months. But Jim Kelly says, we got other guys, some guys that we've known from special teams like Steve Tisker at Tasker. And then Kelly. Oh, man, Billy Brooks. 23 yards, he saved the season. 11 touchdowns in 10 games for Brooks. The Bills lead at 7-0. Mark Rippon, remember in the Super Bowl 26, he riddled the Bills when he was a skin. Alexander, if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. 50 yards down to the 5. 3rd and goal. Rippon hits one of our favorite players this year, Todd Heaton Kinchen. Touchdown, doesn't hit any goalpost though, although he wanted to. 6-yard score, 7-all. Early second quarter, it's 10-7 Rams. Watch the play by the special teams. Dick Dexter Davis dives. J.T. Thomas falls on a beautiful play, Tommy. That meant the Bills would have to go 98 yards. Kelly falls, but hands it to Thurman Thomas, and right up the middle, they get out the shadow of their old goalpost.
Yeah, great job of blocking. Number 79, Reuben Davis, with a great drive block, and watch number 67, Ken Hall, push his guy across the formation, open up a nice hole.
Then Jim Kelly slammed by DeMarco Farr, 15 yards for roughing the passer. Kelly top stays right in. It's a reverse. Thermal, Billy Brooks, Jimbo. Good coverage by the Rams. My goodness, he had time. Finds Tony Klein. Kind of running like Patsy Klein on that play. 17 yards. He falls, but it's a pickup and second and goal later on. Kelly to Thomas makes a pretty catch, and Buffalo takes the lead 14-10 on a 98-yard drive. The next possession, remember the play we showed you? Watch Thermal up the middle again.
Yeah, Reuben Brown again, stealing his guy to the inside, opening up a nice hole, and you see Thurman still has a little speed as he giddy-ups toward the end zone.
And it leads to a touchdown. Marv Levy's called up 21-13 at the half. Third quarter, first possession for Buffalo. Kelly fires to Billy Brooks. Pretty play. Brooks is 21-yard gain inside the 10-yard line. And then watch Jim.
Yeah, Kelly with the great off look to look the safety off, and then coming back to Steve Tasker late at the back of the end zone. Great patience.
So Tasker with the touchdown. The Bills lead at 28-13. 3 for 3 inside the red zone. 28-16. It's Kelly to Tasker again. Look at the play at Tasker makes. It's 28 yards for a touchdown. Pair of Kelly to Tasker touchdowns in the third quarter. Andre says, hey, man, when I get back, we're really going to be rolling. Hey, the Bills rolled today, 45-27, 222 yards rushing. Kelly threw the 4 touchdown passes. You had Thermal with 129 yards. You had Derek Holmes with 90 yards, Tommy. And you got to give the Bills, this was a game they could not fool around with. On the road, tough. They had a tough loss to San Francisco last week. You got to give them credit. They understand when it's time to push the button.
I think we're always amazed at the maturity of this ball club, and that they know the games that are significant games that they have to win. They're led by their leaders, Bruce Smith on defense and Jim Kelly on offense. But I think the most encouraging thing for the Buffalo Bills is the running of Holmes and a healthy Thurman Thomas in that lineup. And now you get Reuben Brown and Ken Hull and company blocking. Yes. Down the stretch, this team knows how to win. And if they are fortunate enough to stay in the position that they're in right now, as that third seed, somebody's going to have to go to Buffalo and play football.
Yes, they are. And then Kelly, you mentioned he is tough. Kent Hull is a center. You know, the AFC's got several good centers. He's made a couple of Pro Bowls, but he kind of is gets the short end of the stick, doesn't go a lot. He's been their best lineman, and you saw it right there. Here we go inside the numbers. When Buffalo wins, which they've done 9 times this year, as they stay 1 up on the Colts and either 1 on 2 up on Miami, depending on Monday night, they have run for 141 yards. When they lose, they don't run so well. But boy, when Thermal looks like the Thermal of old, they got weapons. And we know they got defense. Although Rippon did a good job today throwing for 372 yards. We return. Air McNair, his NFL debut for Houston. Could the Bears get off the schneid at Cincinnati? Stick around.
That negligee from the catalog came in.
Oh, Marge, it looks so soft, so silky. Do you think we could use it to wipe the dust off the TV screen? It's time for ESPN's NFL Prime Monday. I need a clean screen to see Mike Tirico talking X's and O's with Joe Theismann and Sterling Sharp. I want to see Sunday's recap and Monday's pregame. I want to see Prime Monday, and I want to see it clearly.
I'm beginning to see things clearly myself, Charlie.
The Chicago Bears were once upon a time in first place in the NFC North Division at 6-2, but then, well, something happened. All of a sudden, they are 7-6, and they're starting to feel the heat. The problem, no heat today in Cincinnati. And what do I mean? Well, wind chill, 12 below at game time. So Jeff Blake says, I like to throw it long, but you know what? It's cold. Let's throw it short. Carl Slim Pickens for 7 yards. Blake, the screen to James Joseph, the former Eagle. Look at the large fellow take it upfield inside the 35. That leads to Doug Batts in the Pelfrey. Hey, it's not as exciting as the Bengals have been, but give Coach Dave Shula and company credit for adapting. 3-0 Cincy. Eric Kramer, the Bears have been big play. They kept with it, and in the wind, it's hard to throw. Kramer to Michael Timpson. Eric was off today. He's had a great year, but he was off today. Kramer to Curtis Conway. Look at Bracey Walker on the much-maligned Bengal defense who played well today, Tom.
Yeah, you see Jeff Graham right here run a nice route. Graham open for just a second. Kramer waits a little long to throw the football, and Sawyer has a chance to step in and make the defense of the pass.
With his score 6-3 Bengals, Blake the quick pass to Pickens. He's tough. It's 14 yards. Then Blake to Pickens. It's going to be 8 more yards. Slim would catch 11 for 99 on the day. But the short game sets up Doug Batson the Pelfrey. 39 yards, good. 9-3 Cincinnati. Bears next possession, 3 and out. Spent a high draft pick on punter Todd Sauerbrunn. Been a big disappointment. Roger Jones helped disappoint him by getting a hand on it. A 14-yard punt. And this is what you like to see, Tom. After a special teams big play or miscue by the opponent, first play, go for the jugular. Blake, zing, through the coal to Darnay Scott. Touchdown, 16-3, Cincinnati. Look at Jeff's number 30 of 41 for 253. So the Bears mount a comeback. Kramer still going long, but this time Jeff Graham crackers to a 41-yard reception. That sets up second and goal. Rashaan Salam, 100-yard day for the youngster. 16-10 Cincy. Then Salam hit by Artie Smith and Bracey Walker falls on him. On the play, Dan Wilkinson gets hurt, injuring his head, his neck, but he had control of his arms and legs, and it was better off than certainly this scene would show you, and that is good news. Bears get one last chance. With under 2 minutes to go, Kramer to Conway, 4 yards. They needed to pick up more. Dave Wantz that says, wait a minute, I always could count on offense. You mean Cincinnati's defense, one of the worst pass defenses ever, held us to 10 points? That's right. 6-2 is now 7-7 for the Bears. We're now in danger after that great start of missing the playoffs, and Cincy could still finish at 500. Elsewhere in the Norris, one of the teams that's coming, Wayne Fontes of the Detroit Lions. Oh, you can put sugar in his tank, you can poison his food. What they did to rescue him, they broke his foot, but they're 4-0 with the cast on. They also have Barry Sanders, and congratulations, Barry, 10,000 yards already. Only the 10th man in NFL history to get to that mark. He's unbelievable. Scott Mitchell, play fake to Sanders, hit Herman's Moore. Touchdown. 7-0, and Moore breaks Bobby Lane's old Lion mark from the 50s of, he now has 27 touchdown passes in 1 year. Chris Chandler lobs to Haywood Jeffries. Pretty catch. 7-7 game. The Oilers giving the Lions all they can handle, Tom.
Yeah, Jeffries covered by Corey Raymond man-to-man right there in the spot shadow. You're going to see Jeffries come across the formation, and the fundamentals. Always remember the fundamentals. Raymond there with his head back in the backfield toward the quarterback, loses sight of Jeffries, and gives him a touchdown.
Now I want to introduce you to Antonio London. He was Werewolves of London. Irv Heatman must have been looking for Pina Colada at Trader Vic's. He should have fallen on the ball, but London, the hit and the recovery, setting up Barry Sanders. 17-7. His hair was perfect. You know the song, you know what I'm doing. First half, the Lions 17 points off 4 Oiler turnovers. Then Mitchell to Herman. Oh, man, is there anything he can't do? 24-10 Detroit. Chris Chandler, earlier on, sat out the second half, an ineffective first half. He's been sick. And Steve Air McNair, NFL debut. So early, but here's the arm. Chris Sanders on the run, 39 yards, 24-17. Give that ball to Steve. On the ensuing kickoff, Alvin Williams. It's a fumble! Tomer Barnes falls on it. And just when the Lions thought they were getting comfy, it's McNair that makes him sweat. McNair to Haywood Jeffries. McNair 9 of 10 at one point. On the next play with 7 minutes to go, McNair, oh, he throws into double coverage, and Mike Johnson is there to pick it off. But the Lions special teams hurt him again. They botch a field goal up by 7 with a minute to go in the middle of the field, and McNair's got one last chance. Steve McNair to Todd McNair. Get out of bounds. Get out of bounds. Get out of bounds. What are you doing? They don't get out of bounds. They have no timeouts. Finally, they spike it. Last play. Incomplete. Whew. Steve McNair made it exciting. And a nice shot there with Wayne and Steve McNair and the Detroit Lions. 0-3, 2-5, 3-6. They're not 8-6, folks, and they're going home next week against Jacksonville. 24-17 Detroit. Now, let's give Detroit the nod, because no team has been on the ropes like they all year. We've talked about it. And now they're in position to maybe even host a wild card game. Who knows where that's going to go. But I want to give Jeff Fisher the nod. Cleveland, when they knew they were moving, couldn't win games, obviously. Rams last year under Knox couldn't win games. Houston's playing tough, even though they know they're moving. And give Fisher the nod. He said he'd use McNair at the right spot. This was the right spot.
Yeah, I think it was the right spot because they're not going anywhere this year. You know, I had a chance to sit with Carolina GM Bill Polian this year. We watched this kid play football. We knew that it would take a while. He said 2-3 years down the road he's going to be a good quarterback. Well, that 2-3 year experiment is probably over right now after 15 weeks. I think after the way he played today, certainly struggled early, but once he got comfortable, you saw the athleticism, the gifted arm, the ability to run and move around the pocket, and he's going to be exciting to watch.
We all watched it. Well, everything else that was going on, which we're going to show, we all watched 16 of 27 for 203 for a half. He can do this when we return. Oh, we're just getting warmed up. Morton Anderson. Hello, old friends. 49ers lost to the Panthers once. Well, they wanted to make amends. And Dallas at Philadelphia. The controversy from this one will swirl for a long time. Welcome back to NFL Primetime. Well, a great rivalry. They came in almost the same year as expansion teams in the South, New Orleans and Atlanta. Fueled this year by Morton Anderson, one of the most popular Saints, going from New Orleans after a great career to Atlanta in a contract dispute. Now, 7 of the 11 games between these two teams in the 90s decided by 3 points or less. Do you think Morton would figure in this game today like he did in the first meeting when he kicked a field goal in overtime in Week 3? Morton Anderson, get used to the sight. Morton as an Atlanta Falcon. Earlier this year he spoke.
I think that was wrong, and I think it was a mistake on that part.
Remember that? And Morton said, here's 51 yards worth of mistake. He's already kicked one field goal. It's another one. Good. He was just warming up. 6-0 Falcons. Closing seconds in the half. Jeff George. Well, he looks smooth, Tom, on the plate of Bert Emanuel. The spin, the slot. Sets up from 55 yards out. It's long enough. It's deep enough. It's good. 9-0 Falcons at the half. Third quarter, George, the fake to Eric Metcalf. The swing to Ironhead. 25 yards on the play, Tom. Another former Saint.
Yeah, great counter fake here. And you're going to see Tyrone Hughes follow Eric Metcalf across the formation, leaves Ironhead Hayward, who makes the catch. And once he gets that body rumbling, it's going to be big yardage.
Speaking of which, the little floater to Ironhead, don't even get my way. Touchdown. It's 16-0 Hotlanta in the Georgia Dome, with the Saints, by the way, were 3-0 coming in. Jim Moore, though, has come back from worse than that. His team was 0-5, and they're in the hunt. Fourth quarter, though, it's now 16-7. Jim Everett to Torrance Small picks up a large first down. First and goal, Everett to the fine young tight end, Irv Smith. Touchdown, 16-14 game. Now Atlanta driving, though, but the Saints defense forces the incompletion, and with 4:20 to go, Morton Anderson, oh no, not again for 55. Oh yes, again for 55. The third time a 50-plus field goal by Anderson today, the first time it's ever happened in NFL history. Oops. Well, still 19-14, the Saints can take the lead, but Jesse Tuggle makes the interception in the end zone, and look at him go. You love Tom when linebackers run like this. He could go all the way to midfield, but it saves the Falcons. And they're in that wild card chase. Theoretically, it's still alive. They host San Francisco the last game of the year. Anything's possible. The Falcons beat the Saints 19-14. And you think something would fit, Tom? I mean, what happened?
Well, certainly whatever they did, they should have given Morton the money and kept him.
You didn't think Morton enjoyed this too much, did you? All right, when we return on NFL Time. Well, this is what you want to see. How did Philly do it to Dallas? And what did San Francisco do to Carolina? It's coming up. Well, the San Francisco 49ers and Dallas Cowboys have been on a collision course all season long. Round one won by the Dallas Cowboys. And now you have two teams in different directions. San Francisco hot, Dallas kind of wobbly. Let's start with San Francisco. Since they lost to Carolina in Week 10, they won 4 straight, averaging 39 points a game. If they go on to win the Super Bowl again, I think the Panthers deserve a full share, because the Panthers gave San Francisco the greatest wake-up call since the one Rip Van Winkle got after 20 years of sleep. They had a first sellout in Death Valley for the Panthers. Long way to drive from Charlotte, but it's a sellout. They watched Steve Young to Jerry Rice against the former Niner Tim McKyer, who burned the Niners in the first meeting, 46 yards down to the 3. This is the opening drive. Young to Derek LaVille. That's pretty. That's a touchdown. That's 7-0 San Francisco. 29 TDs and 51 chances in the red zone, not to mention field goals. Late in the first quarter, Niners have the ball again. And what a year Sam Mills having, Tom.
Yeah, he shows his experience. He gets close to Young, and he just swipes at that football, pulls it out, and gets the recovery.
So the Niners drive down to the 1, and then Panthers drive down to 1. But Bryant Young flushes Kerry Collins out, and Kim McDonald has the ball. E-I-E-I-O. He's down to his own 33, 7-0 Niners after 1. Mid-second quarter, Young to Rice. Watch this. I mean, Timmy McCarr can't cover him any better than that. A beautiful play, 34 yards, 2 plays later. Second and goal, Young wants to throw. Big rush by the Panthers. He's going to tuck it in. Avoids one tackle, then boom! Brett Maxey knocks him out at the 1. But Young, tough, stays in, never leaves. Give it to Derek LaVille. Touchdown. 14-0 San Francisco to 14-3. And the Niners of the Panthers 38. Young escapes the rush. And then look at him duck, look at him go. How does he get 14 yards, Tom?
Well, he's such a threat to a defense because he has such great athleticism. Here you see him duck under the rush of Sam Mills, get to the line, get what he can get, and then he's smart enough to slide. Believe me, he slid right there.
And he can duck under the field mouse, Sam Mills. Then Young says, let me pump fake, let me look over here. Finds Stokes, his third receiver. JJ catches the third. Look left, looked in the middle, looked right. Oh, Steve Young making the right decision, 21-3. Young passes tip, though. Sam Mills, his 4th interception. Jerry Rice, Tom, what?
Yeah, something you won't often see. Jerry doesn't look this ball completely in. Right there, he's trying to glance into the middle of the field. Just pops off his chest and right into Sam Mills' hands.
The Panthers take advantage, though. Second and goal at the 9-2. Derek Moore, is his knee down? Well, look right there. It looks like it's down. Wow, they give him a touchdown anyway. It's 21-10. But the Niners say, forget it. Watch this drive, engineered by Steve Young, and then J.J. Stokes. Ball slightly underthrown, comes in front of the defender, 24 yards. Young fakes, wants to take it in again. Same result. Boom! At the 1-yard line. But the next play, just after all those hits, doesn't he deserve a touchdown? Yeah, he does. Touchdown. 14-play drive, 28-10. Fans, well, they didn't buy the PSLs. Dexter Carter walks out of bounds, so look what happens here. Panther mascot kind of gets booted, and then Dexter, get out of here. You're in my house. Don't you do that again. Matters of other things to worry about than the mascot of the Panthers. And San Francisco, for the 13th straight season, has won 10 or more games. The next best streak is 7. They're steamrolling toward their NFC West, their 9th crown in 10 years, although the Falcons are still in there. And Steve Young leads the Niners to a 31-10 win. Young, 31-45 for 336. And now, here it is. Dallas at Philadelphia, where it was cold. The Eagle fans and players were hot, but Dallas came out very warm. After a field goal by Gary Anderson, 3-0 Philly. Emmitt Smith, 4 yards. And then the move was Bobby Taylor and Michael Irvin.
Yeah, early on, Irvin taking advantage of Taylor, getting open on the inside route for a nice catch and a first down.
Then Emmitt breaks off, run 16 yards down to the 9-yard line. Dallas is bigger than Philadelphia, blowing them off the ball. That sets up Emmitt Smith. It's a touchdown for touchdown number 23, just one shy of John Reagan's record. First half, Emmitt at 98 yards. Business as usual. They've beaten Philly 7 straight times, 7-3 Dallas. Ricky Waters stopped by Brock Marion, and Dallas takes over on a 4th-and-2 gamble. So in the second quarter at 7-3, the pitch to Emmitt led. These are the holes we've seen all year, Tom. No one's there, 14 yards. But 3rd and goal, Ronnie Dixon makes a big defensive play, holding Dallas to a field goal and only a 10-3 lead. Well, Chris Mortensen told you, look for Deion on offense to throw him to 4 to 6 times. Here's Troy Aikman to Deion Sanders. Prime time. Boom time. He missed about a quarter after that hit. The drive would stall. Eagles driving to the 38-yard line now. Rodney Peete looking for Fred Barnett. And Larry Brown, as he did in the first meeting this year. He could go all the way. Business as usual for Dallas, 17-6 lead. But in the second half, everything changed for Dallas and for Philadelphia. Starting for Emmitt Smith. He had 98 yards in the first half. William, the Fuller rush man, makes the stop of Emmitt behind the line of scrimmage. Daniel Ticket Stubbs makes the stop for Ray Rhodes' defense. 4th and 7. Eagles going for it. Rodney Peete. Can he get it? He scrambles. He makes it. It's a first down. Keeping the drive alive. Setting up Ricky Waters. Running Waters into the end zone. 17-12. Yes, take off your shirt because the Eagles also got a 2-point conversion to pass to Barnett. It's 17-14. Fourth quarter. It's a fumble. Leon Lett falls on the fumble. Dallas in business. But inside the 5, are you kidding? Emmitt Smith fumbled. Kurt Gouveia used to do it with the Skins at the big hit. Emmitt, 10 yards in the second half. So defense keeps Philly alive in the shadow of their own goalpost. 5.5 to go. Waters, 13 yards. Churns upfield for the first down inside the 30. That sets up. Gary Anderson tried to miss it, but kept it straight at the end. 38 yards. We're tied at 17. Cowboys on offense, 3rd and 10. Aikman to Corey Fleming, 9 yards. Short of a first down just before the 2-minute warning. Barry Switzer says, go for it on your own 30 in a tie game on the road. But wait, Tom. What happened here? They called the play dead.
Yeah, look at the spot shout on the ref right there. That play clearly started before he started to signal for timeout. So the Cowboys lucky to get a second chance at another decision.
So after the 2-minute one, you go for it again. It's the same play. Romanowski, Andy Harmon make the big stop for Philadelphia.
Yeah, Eagles defensive line, great surge, got low, got underneath, and this is the first time I've ever seen Moose pushed back out of the hole like he is right there.
And then the Eagles didn't go anywhere. The Cowboys can't believe it. Gary Anderson's going to set up a 42-yard field goal, and it's good. And the Eagles have the lead. But Ed Hockley says, wait, we blew a whistle. We didn't signal time, and you're going to make him kick it again? Gary Anderson, it's good again. Dallas gets help twice, but the Eagles come back to stick at 20-17. Then a minute and 11 to go. Aikman to Urban. Don't count the Cowboys out at 15 yards. 4th and 9, 32 seconds to go. Aikman. Corey Fleming, 16 yards. Drive still alive. Then Aikman. Remember the strategy to put the tall Bobby Taylor on him? Look at the play Taylor makes, the youngster. One chance to go for Barry Switzer. Aikman, and fittingly, William Fuller with the sack. The clock runs out. The Eagles have upset the Cowboys, 20-17. Aikman had 45 yards passing in the second half. Emmett had 10 yards rushing in the second half. The Cowboys blew a 17-6 lead on a decision at the 2-minute warning that's as amazing as you'll ever see. After the game, Barry Switzer talked about it.
I wanted to make a foot to control the ball because we kick in the wind, they're going to come back and kick at the field goal to win the thing anyway. So if we keep the ball, maybe there's a chance we got to maybe do something with the time that left that we can win the ball game. If we punt the ball, they're going to get a shot at field goal anyway.
I'm not disagreeing with Carl when we got the second chance at it. And with our offensive line and Emmitt Smith, we'll make a half a yard, and I'll bet on that every time.
It's not a bad call. You got the wind in your face. The punts hadn't been going far that direction the entire game. Even if you get a good punt off, you're looking at midfield, and Gary Anderson's a great kicker. So, you know, with the people we have on this football team, we should be able to make 12 inches one of 2 times.
It's not Barry's fault. You know, Barry didn't risk no game. You need an inch. We can't get a damn inch. We have problems. Barry didn't risk no game. Get off Barry.
That wasn't the difference. That problem. The way we played the 30 minutes of the second half is the difference in the ball game.
I like the way the players rallied behind Barry. We respect everything he's done in football at college. We like him. Tommy, 12 years old, at a Y.A. Tittle football board game. And if I'm on my own 30 in a tie game on the road with 2 minutes to go, and they have Gary Anderson to kick, I take out that punt card. I don't run off tackle. I don't get it.
I think his hood must have been on too tight. I've got an 8-month-old, and I don't let her wear hers tight. I think it was a ridiculous call. Certainly, a ball game is not won or lost on any one play, but what you want to do in a game is give your ball club a chance to win. That ball club had a chance to win. You punt the ball, and they stopped them after they didn't make the first down. So if they can stop them after they didn't make the first down, they could have stopped them after they punted the football.
Now, you have the offensive players stunned on the sidelines. You got Aikman yelling at Eric Williams at the end of the game. You got a defense starting to be depleted. You got a team that's obviously not gotten over that San Francisco hangover. You were in Dallas this way. I mean, where's this team going? Now, look, Philly's a good team, all right? Philly's a very good team, but where are they going now?
Well, I talked about the lack of confidence coming into this football game. Now you add to that the loss of Russell Maryland, the loss of Tony Tolbert, and we don't know how serious those injuries are. But I think more important is the psyche of this ball club. Now the worst thing that has happened can happen. Loss of confidence in the head coach and the calls that he's making on the sideline. And I don't care what the players are saying right now after the game, as they have a chance to think about this and the situation that they've been put in because of that call. Things are going to get worse as the week goes on.
Well, I got to wonder, if Dallas doesn't go on and win the Super Bowl, what kind of situation Barry's job is in. But they play the Giants and they play Arizona, they'll probably win out. If San Francisco wins out, Minnesota on a Monday night and at Atlanta, the Cowboys have now lost the #1 seed. If both of those teams win out and the Packers win out, it would go, if that happens, San Francisco 1 seed, Dallas 2 seed, Green Bay 3 seed. That's the way it would work. There's other games coming. But Dallas has now surrendered the #1 seed if those teams go. So that's what this loss meant. However, good news, Cowboy fans. You did clinch a playoff berth. And good news for Eagle fans. You're in good shape to get in the playoffs. Cowboys offense, first half, 149 yards. Second half, 47 yards. Whatever Ray Rhodes and company said at halftime, they should record that speech and just play it every week on a loop. When we return, late game. Oh, we got a late game. We had the Giants and the Skins. The Giants seem to have the Skins number. You got Glenn Milburn chasing down an NFL record for Denver. And you got the Red Hot Steelers and one of the Mills brothers and the Steelers singing, hopefully for their 7th straight win over Oakland, at least from their point of view. Welcome back to Primetime. Late games. Redskins at Giants. Billy, what do you have?
We have a lot.
Dicey.
Not yet. Giants free agent to be Dave Brown has been called up and down. Brown, he hopes good play in the final 3 games will convince the Giants he's a quarterback for the future. It's much the same story for Washington's Heath Schuler trying once and for all to beat out Gus Frerotte. The winner here takes a step back in the battle for draft order in April. And away we go to the Meadowlands. Windy day. First quarter, no score. Thomas Lewis fumbles. James Jenkins recovers for the Skins. Could they convert? Tough wind. Murray 37-yard field goal. Short. Second quarter now, tied at 3. Lewis, the earlier mistake, trying to atone for it here. Off the kickoff. Backside block from Herschel Walker. You see it right there. And then Lewis, still on his feet, breaks into open field. And watch Walker hustle all the way back down here. Get actually ahead of Lewis. Look at number 34 with the block. Unbelievable. Touchdown for Lewis. Giants up 10-3. How about the wind affecting Schuler, Tommy?
Well, anytime that wind in the Meadowlands is humming, you have a problem throwing the football. There you see Schuler try to put a little bit extra on it. Henry Ellard can't get to it, and the Skins have it, and they're gone down football field.
13-3, G-Men at the half. Fourth quarter now, Skins into the wind. Schuler lofting the pass for Ellard. Wind holds it up, though. Sparks able to come back and make the play on D. How about Allen now taking over for the Redskins?
Yeah, behind the blocking of Trey Johnson and right tackle Ed Simmons. There you see him the first time, and then again going over the right side with more of a power move.
4th and 1, Allen cashes in. Touchdown, tied at 13. The Skins outgaining the Giants by a wide margin in the second half to that point. Giants get the ball back. Reeves says go for it. 4th and 1. Rodney Hampton, can he get the first down? We are late in the game. First down, G-Man. That sets it up. Brown, 40 yards. Chris Callaway, hidey, 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 high.
Hidey, hidey,
yeah,
ho.
indeed. Touchdown, 2013 with 1:12 left. 4th down. Last chance for the Skins. Schuler to Ellard. Randolph breaks it up. And that is that. As Norv Turner's bunch goes down, the Giants win 2013. Dave Brown coming through late. Giants have won 6 straight over Washington and 13 of the last 16. Elsewhere, we got Seahawks and Broncos. A huge day for Glenn Milburn. First punt return. Takes it at the 30. That's a juke. Call that a duke. Milburn to the 47-yard line. And Tommy, it's only the beginning for him.
Yeah, he would hurt the Seahawks on special teams all day. Here his second punt return, takes the ball. Dan Wells has the angle on him right there. But right there he gets knocked out. Great blocking. And you see Milburn scoot forward for another 15, 20 yards.
Now his third punt return. Almost breaks it again. After 1 quarter, Seattle 0 total yards. Milburn 138. Second quarter now. The Broncos in Elway to Miller. For Anthony Miller, his 13th touchdown reception this year ties a single-season Bronco record. Third quarter, as the Broncos are up 17-0. Elway back, Robert Blackman pops Elway. Fumble, it's loose. Antonio Edwards scoops it up. And I tell you what, for a lineman, this guy can scoop. 83 yards for the touchdown. And Tommy, Seattle at this point, down 20-10.
Yeah, this isn't Elway's blind side, but he's looking left. You get Blackman coming from the strong side of the formation. You can see Elway never sees him. Ball pops out. Edwards has it, and he's on his way with a convoy of Seahawks.
So Seattle back in it. Fourth quarter, Chris Warren takes the handoff, breaks a tackle. Counted up now, 26 yards. Seahawks now down only 3. Following a Bronco touchdown. Freeze in for Meyer. Joey Galloway, touchdown off the deflection. Seahawks again down by 3. Then Seattle, freeze to Warren. The pass, Warren at the 20, Warren at the 10, Warren, touchdown. His third touchdown of the game. Seahawks up 31-27. Could we have another miracle from John Elway? 4th and 16. We call this the hook and ladder, but the ladder's broken. Knocked away. Moss comes up with a loose ball. Oh, boy. Seattle wins at 31-27. Seattle had lost 6 straight at Denver. In the loss, Milburn, 404 total yards a new single-game record in the National Football League. The old record, 373 total yards set by Billy Cannon on this date in 1961. But the big story, Denver blowing the lead and possibly a playoff berth in this loss.
Yeah, because they got 2 road games to go. Yeah, on the day, December 10th. So always every 34 years you can set your watch to it. A big total purpose yard. Congratulations, Milburn, but a tough loss certainly. Well, was there ever a fiercer series in the history of the NFL than the Raiders and the Steelers? 5 straight times they met in the playoffs in the 70s, starting with the Immaculate Reception game. And get this, I know you young fans don't believe this, but the AFC used to own the Super Bowl. From 74 to 80, either the Raiders or the Steelers represented the AFC in the Super Bowl, and when they got there, they won it. 2 teams renewed acquaintances at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Here we go. Yeah? Oh, yeah. This guy, I think, remembers the old Raiders and Steelers. At least he looks that way. Billy Joe Hobart making his first pro start. Harvey Williams, dropped by Sugar Ray Seals. Williams, slip, drop. Williams, hello to Greg Lloyd. The great linebacker comes in. Raiders 9 carries in the first half for just 3 yards. Steelers get to work scoreless in the first quarter. Neil O'Donnell to Ernie Mills. 37 yards, touchdown, 7-0 Pittsburgh. But in the second quarter, the Steelers up 10-0 O'Donnell. Anthony Smith tips. Andre Bruce paying dividends years after he was drafted by Atlanta. What happened?
Yeah, O'Donnell under Smith here, under the pressure from Anthony Smith and Andre Bruce. Should have thrown that ball away, threw it right to him. They jump up, get it for a touchdown.
O'Donnell under pressure again. This time it's picked off by Anthony Smith. And look at him go. The defensive line is going to score all the touchdowns for Oakland. Who needs offense? But what happened?
Well, there's certainly a questionable call if you ask any Raider fans. I don't know if O'Donnell was clearly in the grasp. You have to ask yourself, is there a possibility that he might have gotten away right there? He looked like he was trying to throw. They get it. They're headed the other way. I think it's a bad call by the official.
Well, except instead of a touchdown for the Raiders at the Pittsburgh field goal, then Cordell Stewart playing, and my goodness, the Raiders stopped him for a 2-yard gain. Then slash quarterback slash wide receivers, but he's a decoy. And O'Donnell, one of the unsung heroes this year for Pittsburgh. Well, he's looking for John L. Williams, and he didn't quite find him. O'Donnell to Cordell Stewart. Oh, look at the youngster make the catch for 23 yards. Then O'Donnell to Ernie Mills. Touchdown, 14 yards. Mills with a pair, 20-7 Pittsburgh. Billy Joe doesn't want to jump off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Has Darryl Hobbs in the end zone. Can he bring it in? He can't. Next play, back to the end zone again. He's chased. He fires. Timmy Brown. Fourth quarter, Raiders down 12. Oh, what's happening here? The Raiders stand at their 4th straight loss as Hobart's pass picked off by Willie Williams. 5th interception this year for him. Later, Hobart to the end zone. Picked off by Willie Williams. 6th interception of the year for him. 4 picks today by the Steeler defense. They outrushed the Raiders 144-28. And as they did last year when they put it away in the second half, 29-10 the Steelers over the Raiders. Raiders got a run, Tom. What happened?
Well, 11 yards worth of rushing in 6 quarters if you include the first half today and the 4 quarters against the Chiefs last week. That's not enough to get it done.
Not even close. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are steamrolling. They've won 7 straight. The Raiders have lost 4 straight. And when we return, game balls. Everybody wants them. Only a few are selected. We'll dole them out in a moment. All right, welcome back to Prime Time. Here are our rushers. Curtis Martin, 148 yards, Pats 1. Glenn Milburn in a loss. What a day for him. Thermal, he's back. Other 100-yard rushers. Eric Pegram, 7 in a Steeler win. Terry Allen in a Redskin loss. Ricky running waters in the biggest game of the day. Other 100-yard rushers. Emmett in a loss, most of the first half. Rashawn Salam in a loss. Chris Warren in a great comeback by the Seahawks. 300-yard passers. Mark Rippon in a loss. Steve Young in a win. Mark Brunell came back after 2 weeks' absence, but the Jags lost. Receivers. Isaac Bruce, the Reverend. Brett Perriman, he's on every week, so is Bruce. Brian Blades had a big day. Elsewhere, Jerry Rice, Willis Jackson, and Johnny's Mitchell, all of them with 100-yard days. Ryan Yarbrough, I always liked this kid, had a big game for the Jets. Herman Moore, can't hate him. A lot of those names will make it to the Pro Bowl. We'll have the Pro Bowl selection show for you. You'll know on Thursday night at 7:30 for an hour, all the Pro Bowl players going to Hawaii. What a day we had for Tom Jackson and Bill Pidto. I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching us. Packers and Bucks on Sunday Night Football. Mike and Joe and the gang. Enjoy.